All right, this is part two. So I'm saying the part number. I'm saying the part number that way you guys are not confused. So this is part two of what of this video, obviously, right? Right. So I'm gonna keep saying this. Right. You guys better fucking enjoy this series. I swore. Because once I find out how wicked you are, and I cry my eyes out. When I mean cry my eyes out, I mean I'm gonna have a mental breakdown, man. When I mean cry my eyes out, I mean I'm gonna break down in tears because I know I have to suffer death. There's nothing worse than suffering death to save your fucking wife, man. But I had no choice. If I don't die, Victoria Justice is never going to see me. As you put me in a tight pickle, obviously. Either you escape death, but I know selling is a trap. I know if I sold out, you guys would win the game. You would see me and my wife's glory forever, and you want your full cake. Steph would have control over my finances, as me and my wife are not king and queen. Steph would be ruling over us. They would be king and queen. My wife is trash. She'll never see me. Hence, the relationship will most likely not work. There's a good chance me and my wife will end up breaking up. Because the relationship, I can't see the relationship working if my wife is trash, which is fucking gross. She'll get more trash sharing with more men. Me and her sharing with thousands to millions of people. The relationship won't work. It won't fucking work. Hence why I know selling is a trap. Hence why I'd rather go through that horror. 1 second I'm there, the next second I wake up and I get my freedom and financial control. I get a fresh wife all to myself, forever, obviously. I get full control over my novel, and at the same time, I get to start my own Skyscraper company, independent from the Hollywood system, because I want nothing to do with the Hollywood system. And I'll be starting a film entertainment company even bigger than Disney, Warner Bros., Paramount, Universal, all those companies. A company bigger than all those companies. And that's why all the C-list people around the world are dying to work for my company. But I told you, C-list people are out as I only want crewmen who worked in Hollywood. For the construction crewmen, for the makeup artists, the construction crewmen, the special effects team, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The musicians, I want all those people who worked in the Hollywood movie. People who worked in independent movies are out. Obviously, and for the head chefs, I only want chefs who are like sous chefs who work like the chefs on Hell's Kitchen are good. The chefs who are sous chefs, because most sous chefs who work at respected restaurants, who work at good restaurants, make like $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year. So me paying them $150,000 is a nice fucking paycheck, obviously. And the head chefs, I want chefs who own a restaurant. They have to own a pretty well respected restaurant, a good restaurant. Obviously, you have to own a restaurant to qualify. And I want the head chefs to be Canadian. That way, the rates don't affect their salary. For the assistant chefs, they can be they can be chefs from all around. I only need a good like 25, 30 chefs for Zanus. I only need a good like 25, 30 chefs for Zanus. So I want chefs all around the world who work at good restaurants are all welcome to apply. But for the head chefs, I want them to be Canadian. That way they make their $400,000, which is a fucking nice paycheck, obviously. I told you, guys like Eric Chong is a good candidate for one of my head chefs. Like 75 chance I'm gonna hire him. If I see him on the list, I'm like, you know what? I saw this guy in MasterChef. He owns a respected restaurant with one of the chefs, one of the judges chefs. There's noise. Just give me a second. I'm waiting until my stepmother goes upstairs. I don't want you hearing the noise, man. Yeah. Yeah. You heard my stepmother, right? She's washing her clothes right now, so I'm just waiting until what? Yeah, so for I don't know, I'll probably read a good like 6 pages of chapter three. I don't feel like reading 15 pages today. I'll read a good like 5, 6 pages of chapter three to give you an introduction of chapter three. I might babble on for another 30 minutes. It's more interesting when I babble on, obviously, than when I read the book, obviously. But to all you Lord of the Rings fans, you gotta bear with me. I'll try my best to do all of book one. If I don't, do not get mad at me. But I'll try my best to do all of book one by the end of October, which I should. I'll try my best to get through all of book one by the end of October before I make that final announcement. And stay tuned for my Swimming with the Sharks. We're looking at it very. Swimming with the Sharks might be one of my best videos in my series because I'm gonna delve in depth. I'm gonna talk about how what do not. I've already mentioned. Do not let Amazon dupe. I'm gonna tell Victoria Justice will be even greedier than me. She'll be like, "You're not getting any more than 60% of my royalties." I'm saying, because it's not just my money; it's my wife's money too, obviously. And my wife, because she's a Hollywood chick, she's gonna be greedier than me, obviously. She's gonna be like, "You're not getting any more than 60% of my royalties." Victoria Justice will never let any of the actors get a piece of the pie. Because she's a Hollywood chick, she's fucking greedier than me. If the Hollywood actors' agents ask for a piece of the royalties, Victoria Justice is like, "You're not getting a piece of my fucking royalties." I'm like, "Honey, calm down." I'm saying, you're gonna see this in the documentary. You know Shark Tank. You know the show Shark Tank. You know how when you see when you see the business pictures, they walking into the tank and the sharks look boss. Picture something like that when the actors fly into my office. Amazing documentary, indie style documentary. A limo driver takes into my office. If Doctor will be filming this, you see my luxury office. You get this music, and me and my wife are like send them in, and you have me and my wife, the legal advisor, the accountant. You have the psychologist. You have the trainer, nutritionist. They're all sitting in the boardroom. The actors walk in, they're all nervous, and then you see me. You see me. I'm like, for my movie, you're not worth more than $4 million. The actor signs a contract, and you see on the screen $4 million. Looks like top notch. And that's why you're looking at the best documentary ever. The documentary will be almost as good as the movie. That's how good the documentary will be, man. You're looking at an amazing documentary, man. And that's why Skyscraper will be the best money enter in business. I'm putting $10 million towards my doc. Like, most documentaries are only made for a couple $100,000. Like most people put like a good like $100,000, $50,000, $30,000 into a documentary. I'm putting like $10 million. That's how much indie movies are made for. $10 million towards my documentary. Obviously, as the editors, there's a good chance that there's a couple $1 million left over in the doc. I'm gonna have the editors put that couple $1 million towards special effects. So you're also gonna have special effects for my documentary, like slow motion. You know what I'm saying? The background. I'm even gonna have some special effects for my documentary because $10 million is a lot of money towards a documentary. I'll pay all the cameramen a nice $350,000 for the 4 years, which is a nice paycheck. So the cameramen get $340,000, and the editors I can pay like $400,000 to edit the doc. Because editors are so important, the editors I don't need a good like 2 editors. One editor should be enough for the documentary. I'll pay that editor a nice $400,000 to edit the movie and the camera. I only need cameramen and an editor, right? I don't need interviewers. I mean, you can just have a cameraman just film and then the actors speak. You know what I'm saying, you speak and all stuff. Because for most documentaries, you don't really need. You don't really. I could have a few interviewers actually. You can have a couple interviews if you want to, but I mean, the cameraman I'll pay $350,000 for the 4 years, which is a nice paycheck for a cameraman. In Hollywood, they get like $90,000 to $80,000, and the interviewers you can pay like $400,000 for the 4 years, and the editor you can pay $400,000. That way you get good. That way they work hard for you, and you get an unheard of documentary. Obviously. You're looking at something like Shark Tank, something better than Shark Tank. You know how you have Keeping Up with the Kardashians, you get the life of. You're looking at a documentary better than Keeping Up. Imagine a documentary better than Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So all you guys who haven't seen the show, I've seen the show. It's an entertaining show. Imagine a documentary better than that, man. A documentary better than Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So you not only have the behind the scenes of me and my wife and the 17 at their house, the main actors, only the main actors at their house, behind the scenes, everything behind the scenes for the first 3 years. Of pre-production. So you not only have you get to see me, you get to see a bit of me and my wife's personal life, the 17's personal life, the main actor's personal life only. And you also see the behind the scenes for production as well as pre-production. And you also get behind the scenes of post-production. And I'll end off the documentary with a red carpet. So I'm onto the documentary. Look, I don't want you filming the luxury hotel party. No, I want the doctor to be able to party it up with us. Party up with the rest of the crewmen. But the doctor will be filming the red carpet, and you're also going to see the red carpet event. So my my post-production will end off with the red carpet event for the documentary. And after the red carpet event, that ends my documentary. There's something top-notch. Obviously. Right? And these Hollywood actors who were chosen for Zanes are going to be so fucking famous. You're looking at worldwide international fame. And hence why they're going to beg the fucking ass off, because Hollywood is shit compared. It's not shit, but Hollywood sucks for its guys. Hollywood sucks for its guys. I'm not kidding around. Once all these Hollywood actors who work for my company, they're all going to beg, like, Ivan, please, man, I'd rather work for you than work in fucking Hollywood. Your company is so much better than Hollywood, man. You spoil the shit out of us. You pay us a lot of money. As Scarsons will be paying paying the actors more money than Hollywood in most cases. There's exceptions where there's a small chunk of actors who make a shitload of money in Hollywood, obviously. But in most cases, I'm paying the Hollywood actors more money than even Hollywood. In most cases, $16 to $30 million for the bigger A-listers, $9 to $15 million, $9 to $15.9 million for the small A-listers. I can go a bit over $50 million, like $9 to $50.9 million for the small A-listers. $5 to $8 million for the rising stars. Rising stars get like $1, $2, $3 million in Hollywood. And the B-list actors get $2 to $4 million, which is a nice fucking paycheck. As in Hollywood, B-list actors get a couple $100,000 for a movie. Right? Hence, I'm paying these actors more money in Hollywood in most cases. There's exceptions where some actors make a shitload of money in Hollywood, obviously. There's exceptions where they make a lot of money, obviously. But in most cases, I'm paying the actors more money than Hollywood on average. On average, I'm paying them more money than Hollywood. But there's a small select few that sometimes they make a shitload of money and that kind of stuff. As I told you, I'm not a Hollywood insider. I don't have any sources. I get my information about Hollywood from what I've seen behind the scenes and from the actors' interviews. Obviously, like I've seen behind the scenes. I've seen some interviews where actors say they work in a sicky dirty environment. That's where I got the idea that sometimes Hollywood might not lease enough showers. Hollywood most likely lease showers, obviously, but there's a good chance sometimes the actors might not even take a shower. Sometimes they might stink on set. Obviously, I got the idea off the one plate bullshit from what I've seen from behind the scenes. I saw the kind of food the actors were served. I'm like, they serve them pretty shitty food. They don't serve them luxury food. I may be wrong. There may be some studios that serve their actors luxury food. I don't know. I don't have any sources. Okay, I'm just saying what I know from what I've seen behind the scenes and from actors' interviews. Obviously, right? I'm not one of those crazy people who claims to have sources and all of a sudden, there's nothing worse than claiming to have a source and then later on you find out that the guy was wrong and then which questions your sources. I don't claim to have any sources. I'm not a Hollywood insider. But for what I've seen from behind the scenes, Hollywood is cheap compared to guys. That's my point. I may be wrong. Sometimes Hollywood may give their actors luxury food. I don't know. But from what I've seen from behind the scenes, they don't give them luxury food. They serve them not bad food like meat, potato, pasta, and salad, and that kind of stuff. Whereas for my company, they're getting a luxury buffet, luxury dessert, luxury breakfast. You know what I'm saying? 3 beers once a week. All you can drink milkshake. All you can drink Coke. A couple options of soda. You're looking at top-notch menu. Water. You're looking at top-notch menu, man. Obviously. I'm babbling on for 42 minutes here. I'm going to start reading the book soon. I can babble on for this video and I can read a good 5 pages of Lord of the Rings. I don't feel like reading 15 pages here. How long is Three's Company? Give me a second. How long is it? It's pretty long. I don't know. I can read it maybe 5 pages. Yeah, it's a long chapter. Holy shit. It's like 20 pages. 19 pages. Obviously. Right? So I'll read a good, I'll read 5-6 pages of Lord of the Rings today. And I'll continue the rest. I don't feel like reading 10 pages a day. So I'll read a good 5 pages. You have to bear with me. I'll read a good 5 pages of chapter 3 of Lord of the Rings. And then I'll continue the rest tomorrow or the day after. I'll try and pump out videos every day. That way I can try and get through all of book 1. It's not guaranteed I'm going to get through book 1. There might be some days when I'm lazy, but I'll try my best to get through all of book 1 for Lord of the Rings. I'll try my best. For all you Lord of the Rings fans, you got to bear with me. I'll try my best to get through all of book 1 by the end of October. If I don't, that's too bad. Because once I make that final announcement, that is it for Ivan the Mayor. I will not be pumping out any more videos. As once I make that final announcement, I'm going to let my family know. I'm going to be brave. I'm gonna go take a walk, enjoy myself for a couple of days. I'm going to go upstairs and let my family know, hey guys, I've done my book. And their true nature is going to show. And once I find out how wicked you are, I'm going to get this video over with. The only thing that's going to keep me going while I pay this fee is knowing I'm going to have a fresh wife all to myself, obviously. I'm going to be a multi-billionaire. I know that once I get that over with, I'm going to be king. My wife's going to be cool with me, and me and my wife are going to be ruling over the world, man. We're going to be so rich. We're going to be me and my wife are going to make $9 billion. $9 fucking billion. That's a lot of money, man. $9 billion off the book sales, and an extra $3.8, $4 billion off the movie. Me and my wife are going to be so rich. We're going to be so rich that these Hollywood actors, the money that we're paying them is pocket change. Even if I pay an actor $40 million, that's pocket change compared to how much money me and my wife are going to make. Me and my wife are gonna make like $4 billion off the movie and posters. So me paying an actor $40 million is pocket change. It's pocket change. That's how rich me and my wife are gonna be. And I'm gonna keep saying this. No Hollywood actor is worth me and my wife's roles. I'm gonna keep saying that, man. I don't care how big you are. Yeah, Will Smith is big in Hollywood. Yeah, Keanu Reeves is big in Hollywood. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson is big in Hollywood. Yeah, Denzel Washington is big in Hollywood. Yeah, Dwayne Johnson is big in Hollywood. Right? All these actors are all big. Yeah, Brad Pitt's big in Hollywood. Yeah, Johnny Depp's big in Hollywood. All these guys are really, really big in Hollywood. Yeah, Nicole Kidman's big in Hollywood. Sandra Bullock is big in Hollywood. But when you're in my movie, you're no longer the main show. You may be the main show in Hollywood, and you may make a show of money, obviously. But when you're in my movie, you're no longer the main show, hence why you're not worth a piece of me and my wife's royalties. And to keep them happy, you pay them a lot of money. That way, they're not mad at you. Don't pay them shitty money. Don't pay these actors shitty money like those actors got in Lord of the Rings. Those actors did blood, sweat, and tears in Lord of the Rings for peanuts. Don't pay them shitty money like those actors got in Lord of the Rings. Pay everyone a good salary. That way, everyone benefits and they all work hard. And you feed them well. Because there's nothing worse than working blood, sweat, and tears. Even 3 months. Even my organization, which is 3.5 months around there. Even that's blood, sweat, and tears. There's nothing worse than working for 3 months. I don't know, 10, 15 hours a day, 18 hours a day of shooting. 15 hours a day, 14 hours a day of shooting. You serve them a shitty food? No. Serve them a nice luxury buffet and pay everyone good money. Even pay the minor actors good money. That way everyone works hard for you. If you land a minor role and you get paid $600,000, you get paid $350,000. That's a nice paycheck for a minor role. As minor roles, you're only in a couple scenes. And you're getting a $350,000 check, $300,000, $200,000 check. That's a nice paycheck, obviously. Whereas if you're a major role, you pay them their millions. That way they work hard for you and you feed them well with a nice luxurious, amazing buffet, man. That way they all work hard for you. Because I did some research, and those Lord of the Rings actors got shitty money, man. If I did Zanus and I paid these B-list actors like $500,000, I feel like shit. There's nothing worse than getting paid shitty money like that. You're doing slave work for 9 months. At the same time, you serve them cheap potato pasta and meat and that kind of stuff. No. Serve them luxury buffet and you pay them their millions. That way they all work hard for you. That way everyone benefits. So you and your wife benefit. You make your billions off your movies and posters, obviously, right? And the actors benefit. They make their millions, obviously, and the money that I pay them, they're able to buy a nice Porsche, buy a nice condo or house, or they can rent a nice or really luxury apartment if they want to. Because there's some actors who live in apartments. They can rent a nice luxury apartment, buy a nice Porsche. They can even go on vacation. Even after doing all that, they still have a lot of money in the bank, hence they got a good paycheck, obviously. And there's nothing worse than getting paid $250,000 as a major role. You have enough to buy a Porsche, but after you buy your Porsche, you only have a couple $1,000 for yourself. Like, I don't know, $50,000, $60,000 for yourself, which you can easily blow in a year. And Los Angeles is a very expensive city to live in. Hence why you pay these actors a lot of money. That way everyone benefits. The actors who are really going to benefit are the A-listers. The A-listers are going to get millions in the bank, obviously. Because they're A-list actors, they're worth what? They're worth the millions, obviously. I'm babbling on for 2 parts now. My part 3, I'll start reading Fellowship of the Ring. Because I don't feel like reading like 10 pages. I'll read a good like 5 pages and I'll end the video here. I don't feel like reading 10 pages. And tomorrow I might read maybe 15 pages of chapter 3. So I'll babble on for 2 parts, and part 3 I'll read Fellowship of the Ring. Obviously. And after this video, I'll go to the store, get beer and smokes. I might even get shawarma again. Might get shawarma. I've been getting shawarma the past like 5-6 days. The shawarma shop in Elmer here is really good. They have good food. Hence why I'm gonna miss Elmer, because the one thing I'm gonna miss, because my whole life I grew up pretty much in Elmer's pretty much a small town next to Ottawa. Once I move to Vancouver with my wife, I'm gonna miss Elmer, because Elmer is home. I lived here for 20 years. And Elmer is a small town, obviously. I'm gonna really miss Elmer, obviously. But I can easily choose to live in Ottawa if I want to. But like, I've lived in Ottawa. I've been to Ottawa, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to live in Ottawa. I've seen pictures of Vancouver, and I've always wanted to live in Vancouver ever since I've seen Vancouver. I'm like, man, Vancouver is ranked the most beautiful city in Canada. It's the most beautiful city in Canada. It's the most top-notch city in Canada. Toronto's a richer city than Vancouver. Toronto's considered like the New York and Los Angeles of Canada, but Toronto's a bit crowded. I'd rather live in Vancouver. Vancouver is more beautiful than Toronto. Toronto's a beautiful city, obviously. VJ's been to Toronto, but it's not as beautiful as Vancouver. Vancouver is right next to the Pacific, and it's not as crowded. Vancouver only has 600,000 people, whereas Toronto has a couple million people living there. Hence why I want to live in Vancouver. Vancouver is beautiful. Out west. I want to live in West Canada. And Vancouver doesn't have cold winters. Because Canada, it's cold up here in Canada. Vancouver doesn't have cold winters. Vancouver has mild winters. Because the mountains block the snow. And it's next to the Pacific Ocean. Hence why it's warmer climate, obviously. Because the Pacific Ocean is warm, whereas the Atlantic Ocean is very cold. And Vancouver is right next to the Pacific Ocean. Hence, me and my wife can own our own yacht, park in the docks. We can go the actors. We can drive in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Hence why I want to live in Vancouver. Vancouver is right next to the ocean. Just like Los Angeles is next to the ocean, Vancouver is right next to the ocean. And Vancouver is more beautiful than Los Angeles and New York. It's more beautiful in those cities. Hence why I want to live there, obviously. Right? Right? Yeah. Yeah, so... And hence why you guys better stop taking for granted. As once I'm king, I'm not even going to think about my Savage channel, man. Once I'm king, I'm totally going to forget about my own life. As once I'm with my wife, I've never been in a relationship before. So once I suffered death and I had sex with hundreds of women, I finally know what it's like to be in a relationship. I've never been in a relationship before, which is a good feeling. It's cool to be in a relationship, obviously. Once I'm in a relationship and I'm rich and I'm living a life, I'm no longer going to think about my Savage channel. I'm going to keep saying this because you made me pay a horrific price to be my wife when I didn't do anything wrong, all because you can't see me have sex because of my holy nature. You're also going to pay by being left behind and abandoned by God. I'm going to keep saying that, man. Because you made me pay a price, you're also going to pay a price. You're going to feel left out and abandoned by God. Such a horrific feeling, you guys are going to cry as you're looking at worldwide international fame for my book sales and even crazier fame for the movie. You're looking at worldwide international fame. It's such a horrific feeling that you guys are going to feel abandoned, man. You're going to feel abandoned. Like, it's going to be so bad that all these people who do YouTube, all the celebrities, they're all going to feel left out and abandoned. It feels like as if no one cares about what they're doing anymore. You feel abandoned by God. Yeah, it's a horrific thing. All these YouTubers are going to feel abandoned by God. Oh my God, like when they make their videos, it'll feel like as if no one's tuning into their videos because all the attention is drawn towards Ivan VJ now. You feel left out and abandoned by God. You see all those hundreds of thousands of fans going crazy about my book sales. Ivan VJ saw my book. Ivan VJ, can I have pictures of you? All these trending pictures online. And for the movie, you're looking at even crazier fame, worldwide national fame, you're going to feel left out and abandoned by God to the point where you're going to cry and you're going to wish that you can take it all back, but it's too late. You chose to cause mess of my life. You chose to punish me and my wife by having me and my wife pay a price. And it's the judgment of God is set upon the world, and you guys are left out and abandoned by God. It's because you judged me when I didn't do anything wrong. You made me pay a price for my wife when I didn't do anything wrong. You made my wife pay a price to be with me. You killed an innocent man. You choose not to talk on me and my wife in the public eye. You watch my videos behind the scenes, but you choose not to talk on me in the public eye. And you're selfish. You want your full cake. No matter what, you guys want your full cake and eating it too, because you're fucking selfish people. We're not going to talk about I and VJ. We're not going to mention the public eye. We're going to act like we don't watch their videos. When behind the scenes, we watch their videos. We tune in and watch their videos. And you think after causing this mess and killing me, I'm going to take my time and make videos for you. I'm not going to do it like that. As once I'm king, I'm not making any more videos on my Side channel. You're going to pay this fucking horrific price. Because you made me pay a horrific price, that you and my wife, especially had me suffer death, you're also going to pay a horrific price. I'm not kidding around. You world are going to suffer this punishment, and you're going to be left out and abandoned by God, and me and my wife are going to live forever in this world, while you guys, in a couple generations now, you guys are all going to die. All you millennials, in 6 years from now, you guys are all going to be old and die, right? All you Gen Xers, in a couple decades now, you guys are all going to be old, you guys are going to die. All you baby boomers, in a few decades, you guys are going to grow old and die. While me and my wife are going to continue to live on. Me and my wife are going to know what the world's going to look like in 2100. Whereas you guys will not. The only people who are going to know what the world's going to look like in 100 years from now, in 80 years from now, are the people who are born now. But the people who are born now, in 80 years from now, they're all going to be fucking old towards 2100. Whereas all you millennials, you guys will not know what the world is like in 2100. Whereas me and my wife are going to know what the world's like in 2100. We're going to know what the world's like in 2150. We're going to know what the world's like in 2200. Whereas you guys are going to be long dead by then. And the legends of Zanes will live on forever. Hence me and my wife won the game, obviously. Hence, had you let me and wife be together, you would have seen me and wife's glory forever. And you chose to cause mess all because of your envy and you chose bullshit sex over that amazing glory because you guys are reprobate people, obviously. You're fucking reprobate people, man. Which boggles my mind to this day. I'd rather know what it's like for Ivan and Vijay to have sex, their bullshit sex, than see their amazing glory in the public eye. And you chose the amazing glory that you would have seen of me and my wife in Hollywood. Every day, you would have been happy every day. You would have been saved. You chose to be left behind and see their bullshit sex, worthless bullshit sex, and be left behind over being saved, which is worth a lot, obviously, and seeing Ivan and Vijay's amazing glory, which is worth a shitload more than their bullshit sex. Yet you chose bullshit sex because you guys are blind and you reprobate. I ordained this to happen. You guys chose to be blind. You guys chose to see our bullshit sex, which is worthless. Because all these women who have sex with me, they're not going to see me. I'm going to black out the screen. I'm going to run away, obviously. And so you got rip-off sex. All those men who had sex with Vijay got bullshit sex. As Vijay, because her spirit's holy, her spirit left. And she got bullshit sex from both Ivan and Vijay. And you chose that and being left behind over seeing their amazing glory in Hollywood and never know what sex to have sex. Like, who cares if you can't see me have sex? And you chose bullshit sex because you guys are crazy fucking people, man. No matter what, you want your full cake. You thought you could dupe me, but you're not going to dupe God here. No way in hell am I going to let you get your full cake. It's either you see Ivan and Vijay's glory forever and you're saved, you never know it's like to have sex, or you see their bullshit sex and you cause mess of their life, you kill Ivan, I set the whole thing up, and when Ivan and Vijay are king and queen, you choose not to talk to one in the public eye, and so when Ivan and Vijay are king and queen, you're now left out, you're banned from their glory, and hence you made your choice, and you're left behind. Obviously. Right? So I'm going to keep saying this. All these videos I'm pumping out, you better fucking enjoy it. Because once I'm king, I'm not taking my time. I'm going to keep saying this. Once I'm king and my wife's king with me, we're not going to take our time to make videos on our Savage channel. Well, you're not going to take the time to talk about us in the public eye. Well, Ivan, we made you rich. You bought your book, we made you rich. Yeah, you bought my book and made me rich, but I had to pay a price to be rich. You made me pay a price to be my wife. Hence, because you made me pay a price to be my wife, for me to be rich, when I deserve to make free money because I created this world, you're also going to pay a price. When me and her are king and queen, you're not going to be saved. You're left behind. You're bad. My God, I'm not going to do like that, man. Because you made me pay to be my wife, you're also going to pay out being left behind. I'm going to keep saying that, man. You have no idea how much it pisses me off how you cause this mess. You purposely cause mess in my life when I didn't do anything wrong. At the same time, you're also going to purposely cause mess in my wife's life when I was willing to fucking save my virginity for her, but you guys are fucking wicked people. You had me have sex with all these women in Hollywood. You had me have sex with my stepmother, which is fucking gross. A horrific price I have to pay. I have to do that to save my wife. The fact that you made me pay a horrific price and have me suffer death especially, you're also going to pay a price. You're going to be left behind a bad. My God, I'm not going to do them like that, man. Obviously. Right? And I'll end it off with this before I start reading the book. And hence why I'm going to keep saying this. Those actors chosen for Zanes are fucking lucky, as they're the lucky ones who are chosen by God. They're going to be saved. They're going to experience the success, the worldwide success and fame with Ivan and Vijay. They're going to experience the wealth of Ivan and Vijay as you're looking at the best story ever told. Yes, even better than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. If it's done right. If it's not done right, it will not be better than Lord of the Rings. You have to write an amazing script, and you have to what? You have to hire the right people in order to make it. You have to put unheard amount into it in order for it to be better than Lord of the Rings. If you don't put unheard amount into Zanis, you don't write a good script, it will not be better than Lord of the Rings. As Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings is an unbeatable franchise. I don't think any franchise will ever beat that. Hence why I'm going to keep saying this. Last of Zanis is looking at a masterpiece, looking at an amazing. Once you read a book, you'll find and see what I mean. I'm going to keep saying this. For me personally, Lord of the Rings fans, don't take this the hard way. Even though Lord of the Rings is an amazing book and J.R.R. Tolkien's legend, for me personally, I find Lord of the Rings series a bit boring. Even though it's amazing and the world building is amazing, the series for me is a bit boring. And sometimes I have to force myself to read certain sections of Lord, especially Fellowship of the Ring. Fellowship of the Ring for me was the most boring of them all because the first half of the book is just pure boredom. It's just them walking and talking and meeting people along the way. It's not until the ring goes south the story starts to get a bit more interesting. Whereas Two Towers is pretty interesting in some sections, but in my opinion, out of all the books I've read, I'm reading Return of the King right now. Return of the King, in my opinion, is probably the best of the series for the books. Because I'm reading Return of the King right now, and the book is I'm more interested in the book than I was than Two Towers and Fellowship of the Ring. When they keep saying this, for me personally, because I know Lord of the Rings Tolkien fans are fucking crazy. If you diss Tolkien, they go all over you. For me personally, J.R.R. Tolkien, his book series is a bit boring. Hence why I'll be called the next Tolkien, because Last of the Rings is a more interesting book than Lord of the Rings. There's some fans out there who might like Lord of the Rings better than Last of the Rings, but I highly doubt it. Because Last of the Rings will keep you more hooked and it's a better story. Lord of the Rings has better world building, but Last of the Rings will keep you a bit more hooked. Obviously. Hence why I highly doubt it, but there might be some fans out there who might like Lord of the Rings better than Last of the Rings, but I highly doubt it. Because I'm reading Lord of the Rings right now and I compare it to my book. When I read my book, I'm always hooked. The story's more interesting. Lord of the Rings has better world building, but the story of my book is more interesting, and my Last of the Rings will keep you more hooked. J.R.R. Tolkien did not keep me hooked the way Last of the Rings does. Hence why I believe that all Lord of the Rings fans, once they read Last of the Rings, are going to be like, yeah, Ivan's book Last of the Rings is better than Lord of the Rings. It's the only book that tops Lord of the Rings. And Ivan O'Meara is now the new modern Tolkien because no story will be able to top Lord of the Rings. As Lord of the Rings, no story will be able to top Last of the Rings. As Last of the Rings is an untouchable story. Every fantasy novel that comes after, I'm saying this live on camera, every fantasy novel that comes out after Last of the Rings will not be able to top it, man. That's how good Last of the Rings is. You're looking at top-notch book series, obviously. Right. I'm going to show my camera here.